Check, check. Welcome in, guys. JJ, what's up, man? I'm doing good. A little bit tired. Busy weekend. Was out of town. Got back a couple hours ago, but life is good. Happy to be here with you guys. Glad we got a nice retracement in the market. So I think it'll, at least in my eyes, how I trade, make setups a lot easier this week. a lot of the earnings are out of the way, at least big tech, but we still got a bunch next week. But I just don't like this season because it's kind of hard to trade stuff. But yeah, what's on my watch list that might affect it? SoFi, PayPal. Is that about it? Oh wait, is that last week's? Oh wait, that was last week's. I'm an idiot. I don't even know what earnings we got this week. We'll have to see. Yeah, GPRK. Yeah, man. Are you in that one or looking to get in that one? GPRK. Never heard of it, I don't think, but be a nice fresh chart for us. Paul's bullish on Velo, APT, and RNDR. Yeah, we can take a look if they're available up on Thinkorswim to chart. Let's grab that first one from you. Are you looking for an entry on these, Paul, or are you just saying you're bullish in general? Avenger, welcome in, man. Starbucks, yeah, I definitely want to take a look at that one. Starbucks, DraftKings, Lyft. Lyft is a big one for me too. Yeah, we can take a look. All right, 5:05. I know I pinged you guys late, but one more server ping. I'll make sure we run a little bit long, get our full hour in, and we'll get started. One second here. All right, guys, welcome in. Got our usual 20 to 25 people, a lot of the regulars I'm seeing. JT, good to have you. Getting everything wrote down best I can. Order. Oh, I haven't looked at that one in a while. Well, yeah, I'll definitely take a look. First things first, guys. Yeah, put the requests in the chat. I just go one at a time as I see them. Preferably one request at a time, but like I said, you can put a couple in if we got time to look at more than one of yours. We will. But as usual, SPY and QQQ just to kind of figure out where we're at, where I think we're going. Like I say, every single week. Huge week last week, just gap after gap after gap, gap and go, as I like to call it. I don't know if that's a real term, that's what I call it. Pretty much gap up, push up, gap up, push up even more, and a nice little retracement. And so right now, guys, we're kind of opening right around here, just under 685, 684. Where we're at 4-1-ish. So that's my first focus tomorrow, and for you guys to look at here is, let me zoom in just a little bit or compress this chart, excuse me. So a break and hold this 685 is my focus and first plan of attack tomorrow. So any holds of this low here, and what I just try and teach you guys week after week, at least my training style, is we're looking left and kind of seeing, okay, why does 1K like that price action? So I just look to previous price action repeatable plays, and when we get over that and bounce that zone, we push up for a little bit more, we tag these other targets. Okay, we fail to break when we sell under it, and you see these top side candles here, here, and here, that selling pressure kicking in, and every one of those candles close below it. What happens when we close below it? We retrace back to some levels to the downside and to the downside. So that's my first plan of attack, is any opens under this, I'm not chasing longs here, based solely on what I just told you guys. And just look at Friday's price action. Look at that double, and I guess we're on the hourly. So if we're just talking about candles, a triple top on those candles right there. So we don't want to be long chasing a breakout where we look left and go, well, they just failed that 3 times on hourly candles just on Friday. Why are we trying to break out long there? We don't want that. So in rejections of that, short term, go for this gap fill, which is right here as of now. Any sells into this and below this, and this is kind of what I want this week, just so we can be done with it. Doesn't mean I'm super bearish, but right here, I just want this gap fill. Like I said, just to fill the gap, move on. Not that all gaps need to be filled, but basically we got down here. So we almost tagged it, we almost filled it. And the daily 9 moving average, which I rely heavily on in my trading for swings, day trades, stuff like that, is going to be stacked somewhere around there. So if we did close lower, so that is going to open and stair step a little bit lower, probably be stacked right there. So one day this week, I would just like us to fill the gap, see what we do on this support, and then kind of move on there. I wouldn't really call this a middle of a range. If we kind of open somewhere in here, it makes it a little tricky for us because we got this price action up here, then we got these big bounces down here. But I would call this upper mid range in here. But again, let's focus on that 685 tomorrow on SPY. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anybody have any questions before I move on? I don't want to spend too much time, but I feel like overall market, the ETFs are very important each week. I don't see any questions in the chat. So you guys do have the ability to unmute, so open your mic, keep it relevant, keep it on topic, please. Quickly, QQQ, slightly different, slightly higher above this gap here. You can see this gap here from Friday into Sunday last week, okay? We're opening over the 691, pretty much right at 692. Kind of a tricky spot because you can see kind of what we do when we hit this, 632, when we tag over that. So any holds of that, first and foremost, I'd be looking for bounces, but not overly bullish. I'm not just saying, hey, go look for all-time high, but very doable. Tag the 634 again. That's easily achievable for buyers this week if we bounce this basically 631. Anything underneath that, it's pretty obvious what happens when we sell underneath that and we fail to get back over. So any fail breakouts over that, easily 1, 2, 3 triple bottom zone. We know where you don't want to be late chasing puts, guys, down here into the 625.55. Do not be late there, and always leave your after hours on. You can see that big wick there, pre-market, big wick after hours. Those mean something. We don't know what they mean, but there's something going on there. They're bouncing it for sure. Okay. JJ, yeah, right now I'm on the hourly, brother. I can switch it as I please or as I feel like I need to, but the 1 hour is kind of my nice bread and butter. It kind of shows us our intraday price action because a lot of you guys are looking for day trades and swings as well. We can go the daily, but we kind of miss out on that pre-market action there, which can be a little bit tricky. And so that's why I try to stay in 30-minute 1 hour just so we have a nice zoomed in look on, intraday level, so to speak, if that makes sense. But that's kind of my thesis for that. So onto the watch list, you guys now. What do we have? I think we had JJ's was first. GPRK. Gotta say it slow because I've never heard of it. GPRK. Geopark. Let's see what we got, brother. Or sister. Sorry. Shouldn't assume JJ is a male name. All right, a gap. All right. Let me zoom out here, just see where the heck we're at. Feel free to unmute if you want to talk through it, if you're looking for an entry. Nice weekly candle. But I want to see where it closed, why it closed. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing. So, JJ, anybody else watching, at least how I trade, you guys? Right now I'm on the weekly chart, so I'm just starting out big time frame, and we'll zoom in on a smaller look here. So you can see here, so each one of these candles, you guys are newer traders, is a weekly candle, weekly of information. So we're bouncing multiple days, multiple weeks at that. We bounce, we sell through, we get a little selling pressure. A battle, I just call this a battle here. There's really, there's a follow through. 30 cents down, but then when they bounced it again, and now we got this sell down here, and we've been living under this for a few weeks now. And what did we do Friday? We closed that or rejected Friday. I'll go into intraday and see if that was that Friday high. It could be high from a different day, but that's the level to watch here, JJ. That's basically 827. So if we zoomed in, look here. So yeah, that was Thursday and Friday. We tagged that and we stopped there. And so that's why I always tell you guys, never delete lines on your chart, never delete levels, because if we sell under it, we come back to it. If we push over it, we're going to dip back into it. So we always come back to that. So big day here. If it were me, if you want to be bullish on this name, I don't remember what you want to be bullish on it. So breakout retest for sure of this zone here. If it fails, you know why. You shouldn't be angry. You shouldn't be holding calls for a deep loss, because this is what we're talking about, risk reward, you guys. This is where the risk zone starts. If we're trying to get long and we're still under that, or if we kind of break over that and we fail to hold that, this is the risk zone where it starts to get, your risk literally turns on, is when you start seeing a loss. Reward is anywhere to the top side. If we look left, we can see those targets previous. But what I do like here longer term, all the moving averages are now stacked underneath you after this big move here, JJ. So if we even consolidate here for a couple of days or a few weeks, that's not a bad thing. These moving averages, the 200 is going to be slow, but the 9 is going to slowly catch up. As long as we're not dipping, it's going to kind of go flat, or any move up, it's going to pull these moving averages up. So any hold of that level there, I definitely for sure breakout retest, get long on that. But if we start knocking on this ceiling up here and we're failing to break out, we know we're going to take some puts too if options liquidity is there for it. But hopefully that helps you. Definitely the spot to watch there. All right. VELO, it's crypto. Hopefully we can pull it up here. Daily 200 is just starting. So this is a newer IPO, newer coin, whatever you want to call it, if this is crypto. Nice bottoming out here. And we're kind of curling. We're getting real tight here. So where we're rejecting, let's see here. Where do we bounce it? That might be a better. Big cluster here on the top side. Yeah, I like these levels here in the daily so far. So just looking what user this was, sorry. Okay, Paul. So Paul, here on the daily, man, yeah, I can't remember if you said you're already in or wanting to be in this, but I like, we're kind of in the middle of the range, how I trade, how I look at this, how I'm seeing this. So what I do like, we're bouncing this 486-ish zone. clear and obvious support zones where you do not want to be short at. You don't want to be late to being bearish on this, and clear and obvious tops. We've got some breakouts, but ultimately they're not really holding on the day or the week. So we know 656 is our top, 655, whatever you want to call it, pinching pennies here, but we know where our top is, we know where our bottoms are. So for me, it's all about being patient, buying the dips here. If this is a leveraged coin, or if there's options liquidity on this, I'm not sure. And then we got two moving averages here, kind of, they're as of now we're under it, and it's gonna be pesky. And you can see we closed right at that on Friday. So the green is the daily 20. The purple is the daily 9 moving average. So that's going to make it a little bit tricky. Doesn't mean we can't get long and go more, but that's kind of the spot to watch. For me, I like to trade where the risk is lowest for calls, and that's down here. The risk is lowest for puts is trying to short up here. And so anywhere in the zone here, take your calls, ride the wave up, but don't just take calls here and go, okay, this is what I want for my target, because you got all this information just from the last couple of weeks in here, building a bit of a range. So you got to be mindful of that. You can't fight the chart. You got to trade what the chart gives us, and that's what it showed me on this one. But decent setup for sure. Decent setup. Starbucks, let's do it. I think we go the daily to kind of show people. Avenger and I DM and talk a lot, trade floor and DMs. I think we're kind of seeing the same thing here. So I'm gonna go to the daily, guys, but focus on this green zone, at least for me. Avenger may have a different game plan, but this is kind of what I'm looking at. The 79.55 to 79 pocket, this green zone here. So I flip to the daily. I'll probably have to compress this chart, or excuse me, expand it to kind of show what I'm seeing and why I'm seeing it. Similar thing, you guys. I don't know how many people caught it. We took a swing somewhere over here. We took a swing trade last month, or no, it was down here, beginning of October. I don't know. We caught, it's basically forming roughly the same setup. Avenger, help me out if you may remember where we took that, but somewhere down in here, this green zone here. So that's the same thesis, you guys. You can see where this was just,
I think
like
it
this
was
setup a
this
lot.
most recent dip.
What's up, brother?
It was this most recent dip.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so what I like to do, guys, when I see ugly charts like this, that so these are our moving averages here, you guys. I'm gonna draw a line, and then our candles are closing over it, and we see that extension closing away from the candles, like overextension, oversold, whatever you want to call it. The market can keep selling as long as it wants. You can think sometimes oversold, it can keep going, but that's kind of what I'm looking for here. And Avenger, credit to him, he brought it up to me this week on DM, or excuse me, last week on DMs. We're kind of doing the same steps. So we're selling pretty hard. We're bouncing where we should. For me, I want to try and be greedy and see if we can bottom tick another 79.55. We'd be in between two strikes, and I like that risk there because we can nibble. I'm going to zoom in here. I just want to show you again, you guys, big time frame picture what's going on here. But as we zoom in, super good levels we're coming into for day trades and swings, you guys. So again, I like to take a nibble here if it kind of holds, because again, we're kind of between the 80 and the 79 strike. So if we sell down 50 cents, it's not horrible. We're 50 cents more. Our delta's 50 cents moving more away from us, but it's coming into a really big support. We're not just selling off another 50 cents down into kind of no man's land. We want to time our entries and exits and our swings the best we can. And to me, I think taking a stab down here, we may not bounce it the first day that we hit it. I'm not saying it's going to be Monday, but we may kind of bounce and can consolidate and bounce again and kind of form a double bottom on the daily and then kind of launch. I think that's kind of what happened last month. We dipped, we seen some red the next day. We closed back over at roughly break even, and then it was on multi-day nice swing for us. And so that's kind of what I'm watching. Avenger, you kind of got eyes on the same thing, or what was kind of your plan for that?
We could get a dip down to where you said was nice too, but I was looking at the 80 level.
The 80 level, yeah, and definitely improve. I mean, 80.2, but we can see, if I can zoom here, let's see how far it lets me. Yeah, you can see clearly when we close a candle body over that 80.22, we can see that nice reaction. We come down into it, we see the bounces. So yeah, anybody looking at this chart, you guys, if you want to day trade this, or even some swings, if you want to put some risk on, I'm very confident with these levels on Starbucks. I never delete them. For me, again, Avenger could have something different, but this 80.22 has been working a lot for me. And you could maybe even define your risk level is, I'm taking a 20 cent risk to the 80 zone. If we cut through 80 for a day trade, I'll sell it and take some puts down to this level for a nice 45 cent move down. Or if you got December, January, February contracts and you take a stab here, well, we sell down, what is that, 70 cents? Maybe you can take an average into this zone here. So a lot of options here. And again, on the flip side, if we don't get there this week, we bounce it, start looking at retracement levels. So we sold through support. If we push up, at least how I trade and try and teach guys that kind of are my trading corner is breakout retest. So if we reclaim this, 81.50, we can play that bounce there. Or we push up pre-market, we start rejecting 81.50. Well, it's not hard to see what happens. We failed to reclaim 81.50. What do? We sold off the rest of the day, bounced at the end of the day. But again, find your retracement levels, you guys. Your swing highs and lows in the market. That's my bread and butter of trading. That's something to watch here. But very, very nice chart. I'm glad it got requested for sure. Let's see here. Boeing 255 May calls. All right. Where is Boeing? Let's take a look. May calls, long dated, $50 out of the money. Don't love that. But
Yeah, I got crushed this past week.
all right, brother. Let's get you. Let's figure out a plan before I crucify and say I don't like it. Let's check that delta on that because I'm not very smart. At least for my trading, you guys, I like to tell people a delta of 0.3 or higher. That's kind of what I like to do. Everyone's different, but that's kind of what I was taught early on with River, Tilio, Phase. That's kind of what they do. May 255. So we have a delta. 1 second. Thought I had this saved, maybe not. There we go. 255. So we have a delta of 0.25. So I take it back, brother. You're not too far off the mark. And when you entered, you're probably looking at a 0.30. But the point is, you guys, option Greeks are going to start working against you. We got some levels here. Let me turn this red. It's resistance. Unfortunately, we sold under it. Going to extend this through December. See where that lines up. Are you in a partial position on this one, brother, or kind of looking to get out, or what's your trade plan with this, or what do you want me to help you with on this one?
Yeah, just on management, I guess, because I guess it went below the level where I mentally said I was going to stop out, but I did not, and now it's sort of, I don't know. I guess I keep
Kind of a little bit mentally
the
numb a
more
little bit because it didn't really follow your plan.
right,
Yeah.
and now I'm like searching for levels / hope.
Right. Are you in full or what you would call a partial position? I mean, you don't have to say how many contracts, but
I'm in full.
full position. Okay.
Yeah, it's only 2 cons, but it is a full position for me.
Okay. What position, or excuse me, what percent are you down? Or I guess maybe what
25% right now.
Oh, that's not bad at all, brother. So you
No.
probably entered last week sometime, right? I mean,
Yes, I think I forget the first contract I bought. I did buy one more on Friday.
okay.
Looking at that like 200, I guess.
Yep. And honestly, dude, I'm not just buttering you up here. This is a spot to try. It's okay. We got several things, a little education for you guys here. It's a round number. So 100, 200, 150, 300, it's right at 200. And it coincidentally enough, this is the daily 200 moving average, the slowest moving one. It is stacked right there. You definitely don't want to be short here. That's good. I'm glad you didn't like say the hell I'm getting puts. So I'm like, oh shoot. But you got time and your strike. I mean, it's far, but it's not horrible. You can definitely see a return on this. But this would start to be, to quote River, this would kind of be my line in the sand here. So that round number, it's probably why you brought that up, probably why you took the average. Let me find something. I'm gonna focus on this cluster here and see how far down that would be, because I don't want to encourage you to hold more, but I do see some levels right in here, this continued cluster, because this would really hurt. Yeah, because right that basically 198 here.
Right.
I think for me, because let me see, where do we open the year? We're way down here, so it wouldn't be a 52-week low, but it would definitely be. This is the level from April through now, and we made that cluster. We basically, obviously in hindsight, textbook breakout, retest of previous resistance, flip support, retest, got a little bit ugly, a little bit of fake out. We bounced it and we bounced it again. So you have reason to hold here. But if this fails this week, brother, or any time, not just week, sorry, you got long dated. If this fails in the coming weeks,
Right.
that is telling me that we just gave up, a huge, not a triple bottom, but a 3-area touch of support. And that'd be a cut for me because a big support break, a psychological number cut, a 200-day moving average cut. But I think if you see buyers step in here, I wouldn't say add more, but that should give you confidence that you did take an average. Zoom in here intraday, and this is exactly what we want to see right here for you guys watching. That one day, oops, don't want to zoom in. 1 day, 2 day buyers stepping in. So that's the best case scenario is, hey, we hit an old level, we're back to it. Are they going to step in? Yeah, they're stepping, they're bouncing. That's exactly what we want. So this is the hourly 20, this solid yellow. We haven't talked about that yet. That's kind of intraday, like bread and butter trading for me, whatever kind of taught. Not that we're going to stay bullish or over it, but that's a nice bullish signal short term. So you can see it's caught up and it's curling. So best case scenario, we tag this. Maybe it's a quick bounce into here and we push over. And then what I would want to see, just a slowly but surely, you start stair stepping up. So this week, if you can clear this see this bounce retest that rejected right here, fill the breakout over. If we can just slowly build on that, brother, and just chip on away at it and just, hopefully you're not sweating out too much, it's not too heavy for you, but we clear this, we start getting daily close. Okay, we move up here. And then once we're back over, this is going to be tough. No doubt about it. I don't think we're gonna break through this the first time. So it may take like a double top and they may close it close up to here. I know I'm in the after hours drawings, but just to show you guys, this is gonna be tricky up here. So you said you took an average on Friday.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So what's going to happen, and it's going to be decision time for you, is you're going to have to look at the chart and go, this was support up here, and now it's resistance. And you might be a little bit green or break even. And now you have to decide, okay, I was red. Was that money too much for me that was uncomfortable? Or I was red, I took an average, and now it's back to the original game plan. We're back up here. Because you might be green with your timed average down here. Because if you bottom tick down here, that's awesome. And so your average is going to be instantly green on any push up, and your first entry somewhere into here where we took it last week is still red. But between the two, you might be able to get out break even. And so it's decision time of, do I get out like 10% profit, or do I hold and we sell back down and shit? Now I'm back red. So that's what you kind of got to focus on this week, man. I know I'm kind of blabbering, but
if it moves in the favor, I'll just take one off as it approaches that break-even point or that level of resistance, and then let the other
definitely
one.
if you're not good at charting, definitely take a screenshot or kind of make a mental note. When we get into this 208, that's the first line of defense, where if we start pushing up hard, you're like, oh, it's kind of petering out, why is it failing? You look left, we're probably hitting this volume here. There's probably some volume stacked there. And as we get in that 210, same thing. But if we can get closes over that, man, I think that's an okay hold. You're not into November, you're not early December. You got May contracts, which is good. You got the time. So this this $10 drawdown percent wise didn't totally kill you. But hopefully it helps, man. DMs
huge.
are always open, man. If you need some extra help or you want to send me a DM or a message saying, hey dude, we made some profit. Like, I love those messages, because that means you guys are paying attention, you're learning, and that's what it's all about, man.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep, for sure. All right. Starbucks got it. Hopefully, yep. Okay, just scroll in the chat. JT still in here? Perfect. KO, let's do it. Can't remember that one's that. Where are my lines at? There we go. All right, we are closing over this. Not super confident, but for me, JT, at least how I trade this, day trades and swings. Let's zoom out just a little bit. see what this red zone is doing for us here. You can kind of see when we get to this red zone, these red zones here, this middle one here, guys. Focus on this area. You can kind of see the battle back and forth. We get a sell down, they buy it back up. They sell down, they bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. It kind of a consolidation. Then when they sell it and it actually follows through, we get a big follow through. And so we got the earnings, big old gap up, got the kill candle on Wednesday, I think that was, and now retracement back up. So I don't love the price action around here, JT, but any breaks over, man. For me, again, it's a little bit of a cheaper name, so kind of every penny does matter. So let me go to more of an intraday, like a 30-minute here. So we're over it. That level should be green for support level, but any holds, you can play your calls if you're looking for a calls. You can expect price action like that, but if it doesn't come, don't be surprised, because like I said, it's kind of a tricky spot here, man. We sell under it. You can see these moves under it. You see this move here. You can see a nice kind of a kill candle, but kind of ultimately a fake out on the day they bought it back. So tricky zone, daily 9, daily 200 overhead, daily 20 below us. And so, for me, this is just kind of a day trade zone here. I don't love it for calls on or swings on calls or bearish puts, just because anything can happen around this kind of the 69 to 68.84 zone. But I would lean anytime we're over it, lean bullish. Anytime we're under, I'm not buying the dip. I'm shorting underneath here. I'm buying dips at a bigger support zone there. Does that help you out, JT? I'm not sure what you're looking for an entry, or if you're already in this one, but
yeah, I'm already in this one.
Cool, man. Are you in some swings or some day trades?
I am in some swings.
Okay. Hopefully I didn't run your plan. Are you in calls or puts, if you're comfortable saying?
I'm in calls.
Calls. No, you're fine, brother. Where out on the level did you get in at? If you're okay saying, did you get in last week, or where were you in at?
Yeah, I got in on Friday. It's only one contract. Right now I'm down like 17%, but
okay. Did you kind of buy maybe this failed breakout or somewhere in a day though?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so yeah, dude, it's not a big deal, honestly, and I'm not just, like I said, it's this is the tricky spot. So how I play and try and teach you guys, like I said, breakout retest, breakdown retest. So your main focus tomorrow, brother, is this Friday afternoon price action. So when I send out alerts to you guys, I'm always looking for, did we break a previous day high low? Did we break a pre-market high low? So your first focus tomorrow, we stay above that, we kind of trickle in here. Do we bounce this zone, and do we clear these wicks here? So basically just 69 flat. If we start bouncing over that, brother, game on. No reason to worry. If we start selling under, and kind of back to my past commentary, if it's short dated contracts, you can DM me later if you'd like to, but any sells under that, and you can kind of see that continuation down, it a little bit of bearish sentiment, so to speak. But again, on the way up, it looks, if I do this, 1 second, if I do this on a chart, like, oh, it's a big move. But here, let me get back to my drawings. Here to here, that's 23 cents, like on the stock. And so, again, it may not, I always try and teach you guys, it may not pay the percent you want, but you have to play the chart on this. What strike price did you get? Like a 70 call or 71?
Yeah, right at 71.
Perfect. Can't argue with that. I like that. So, again, don't want to be too long-winded here, but as we push up in the 69.23, it's going to be the daily 200. So if we start failing that, you're like, shit, why aren't we going over? Markets are flying. If you don't have Thinkorswim, go to whatever brokerage you have, go the daily chart and turn on, it's the daily 200 moving average. And that's the one that moves really, really slow. And that's going to be pesky right there. Thursday, failed breakover. Sold that into it Wednesday, tried to reclaim it, triggered the sell down. So we got to clear that this week. And again, if we clear that, what else are we clearing? That zone there. So very, for me, how I trade, for sure, clear Friday's zone, brother. And then this should be target one for you, 69.23. I know you're in a 70 call. It's probably not a big payday, but you got to play the chart. And a zoomed out look what do we have after this? What are we doing here? Yeah, so basically same thing. That 69.23, those bottom side of the wicks, there's going to be some sellers kicking in there. But if we clear that this week, it should be a hard, fast move, I would think, because this kill candle, there might be some unfilled orders waiting. So there's not a lot of volume traded here because there's a fast move potentially. I need to go back and look at the volume profile, but that move into that can and should be very, very fast if you clear that, man. But DMs are always open, man. Like I tell everybody, send me a DM if you need some help on it. But decent chart there, man. If we can clear that, flip that to support, it's game on.
Cool, appreciate it.
Yep. Monica, glad to have you. If you're still here, yep, perfect. Let's look at hymns. That's a popular one. I see the requests rolling in, guys, going as quick as I can. Ooh, big support. I know this one was big support. Earnings after hours. Tricky, but let's take a look anyway. Oh man. A little bit ugly, but a little bit bottom rangy down here bouncing. Ugly as in I don't like that 48.5 that broke last week and 2 moving averages overhead. Excuse me, 3 moving averages overhead. Are you already in this one, Monica, or just eyeing some entries? Because I got a couple trade plans for you. Let's see, you're in shares, okay. Do you care to share your average? You don't have to say if you got 1 or 1,000, but let me know what your dollar cost average. I'm just kind of curious. Again, you don't have to say how much money you're in, but 46-ish. All right, cool. So, all right, you're in shares. Different mindset here for me. Give me 1 second. I do want to grab this bottom range of these swings here for this purpose. So, Monica, we are on the daily chart right here. And this is what I'm seeing. This is how I trade this. So first and foremost, we're going to focus on this 41 to 41.10. You're in about 46. We sell down. What percent loss are you looking at? 11%, totally manageable. All right, here's how I trade this. I don't know if this is share flip or long-term hold, but let's do this. Big old 3, thick green line. That's our focus, Monica. We push up here, I believe, at the time, I don't know if this is an all-time highs there, but big move over when we clear that zone. Consolidation here, we failed to break over. What do we do? Continuation of downside. Fully engulf it, big move. This is what's more important right now. Bounced it. 1, 2, 3 days here, bounced it. So you took shares in here. So this is what I kind of call, this is our top range, middle, this is that lower range. If anything sells under here, I know it's a shares and there's no expiration on it, but that to me is a big break of structure. So this whole, if we just kind of ignore this spot here, this whole structure, this whole consolidation range here, we just broke that. That is from basically April 1st as well. So that was probably the tariff news plus earnings, I think was in April, right? Yeah, so a big breakdown of structure here. So for me, even though it's shares, my cut is this 41.10 zone, because again, we're saying, okay, we broke down below here. We're saying, hey, we broke this structure, we broke this structure, we broke this structure, we broke this spot here. What happens when we break that? We're probably going to sell down lower here. So that would be my focus. If that's a totally manageable trade to still be in this, is we come down into here, and if you, as long as you're not in a full position, it's okay to dollar cost average into here and to buy some here at 44, you guys that don't have it yet. But the wild card, earnings this week, I believe, I think it was Monday after hours. That's the tricky one. So I personally am not going to tell anybody to buy ahead of earnings, because it's a gamble. You can say, oh, the earnings, they're doing good. The last earnings was good in the previous one, but what if this earnings is kind of so-so and it's all about the guidance, you guys? The guidance is basically what they talk about, their projected forecast. If they give weak guidance, but they kind of met earnings and they knife, and you're like, why the hell did they sell down? Well, their forward outlook of the company is what big money and investors and even us should be paying attention to. If that guidance is weak, that's why sometimes a stock can sell on earnings. Same thing. If the earnings are kind of mediocre, but they give good guidance, they might pump. So that's the spot to watch here. I know I'm kind of rambling again. Share position, you guys, if it's not earnings this week, I would say definitely tag it right there at that 44, or excuse me, 41.10 for sure. All right, yep, and I'll get to those other ones if we got time, Monica. Errol, good to have you in here, one of the regulars. I had to meet you earlier. Sorry you had an open mic, but GEMI holding 3, bought at 30. Love it. You're prepared. New IPO. Shit. All right. Holding 3 shares or contracts. You bought at 30. Ooh, this one's a little ugly, not gonna lie. I don't like charting new IPOs, which I'm assuming that's what this is, unless my chart is messed up. But not gonna crucify you. Let's figure out a plan. Earnings are coming up. There's not a whole lot to work here with, brother, other than what I'm seeing here, Errol, excuse me, is kind of a dirty river here, like a 3 wedge push touches down here. So 1, 2, 3, if we bounce that and kind of set some higher lows here. Like I said, I don't love this just because it's a newer IPO or newer company, that is. Earnings are pretty much probably going to, your first hurdle to get over. Those are on the 10th, I think. So in 2 trading weeks. But for me, we're bouncing. It's lower lows all day long. And so we need to stop literally the bleeding on this, because if you're in bullish positions and every time we bounce, the daily 9 is smacking it down. Every time we bounce, it's smacking it down. So what you need this week, you got a nice candle close here. So you need a push up and a continuation and just chip away at these candles here. So you need to start getting some higher lows, closing over where these candles open. These down candles are white for me. So you need, we're going to open here. So we open flat, and you just start getting some, it's never going to be this easy, but some reversal candles that slowly negate these down candles. And now this moving average is going to come through here and it's going to curl under. And that is your first sign of downtrend, downtrend. And now we broke the downtrend. So that's what you want to see. And so when we come into that, if I were to get, 1 or 2 more lines in here for you, it's only a few days, but there is kind of sort of some consolidation here. So I would say this is kind of your first line of defense is 19, because we touched, bounced it, sold under. They try to push over, rejected. So a first close over that is your first sign of resistance here is now flip support. And you want to see it at a bare minimum, see if that 19 holds, and that daily 9 moving average is going to curl underneath it, trend reversal to the upside. That's how I trade, you guys. That's what I look for. Again, a little bit of an ugly chart, not going to sugarcoat it, but if you can clear that 19, it could possibly have a good week for it. That's the thing to watch. All right. Federico, no opinion on HIMS. I am the last guy to ask about earnings. I do not trade earnings. Well, I don't alert it. Sometimes I'll sneak one in. If I have a good week, I'll message River or something, say, hey, let's gamble $40. But Maxwell, thanks for sticking along. NNE, let's take a look.
Hey, can I switch my request?
What's up, man?
Oh,
What do you
sorry. Can you do Wolf instead?
WOLF, I think, right?
No, ULF.
ULF. Terra Wolf. What do these guys do, man?
I could not tell you. I like the chart though.
All right. Let's see why you like the chart here. Oh man, again, it's butt whooped and now it's making a comeback. All right. So I'm gonna kind of hover over here, Maxwell, and I'm looking left to see where we kind of stopped, why we stopped. That wick. Just trying to grab.
I'm thinking like over 1588. I want to get in calls.
Yeah, break even this 1552, man. Look at that. I kind of like, because that where we closed there on Friday, and then Friday, Tuesday, that top side wick, and then all the way, I'm assuming their IPO, they bounced it and they kind of sold off here. If we find a short-term bottom, I don't know how much risk you want to turn on, but just to get some levels here. because I'm on the weekly. All right, let's zoom in and see if we're good at charting here. Just take a look at the hourly. You're kind of on that 1580, you said ish, 1580-ish. Yeah. I can dig that for sure. Nice little pocket there. Yeah, because that kind of, you've seen, would that be? That'd be Wednesday, that failed breakout over. So yeah, dude, I like that. I can, that's about how I trade. Quick look at the daily. How does that line up?
Is with this one being a smaller like name or like I guess like price wise only being $15, I think it could go up to 19.
Yes, look at the IPO. It's probably really hard to see if you guys are on your phones, but that's where some candle closes there. So let's zoom in and get a game plan for you. Yeah. Sorry, did you say shares or options on this? Sorry, man.
I want to do options on it.
Options, cool. And are you a day trader or swing trader?
I'm more of a day trader. I can't
trader,
really handle the swings.
Yeah, for sure, man. Everyone thinks they're a swing trader until they get whacked, and they're like, "Wait a minute, this isn't fun."
Yeah,
I was break even. I wake up 30% down. That's not cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, brothers, 1580, man. Because we see here, I like that. Good eye on this, man. So, what was this? Basically, mid-October, that kind of consolidation here. Failed breakouts. They pushed it, but on the daily, failed breakouts, and that triggered the sell. We got some big news. I don't know what that was. That earnings or just some big news Tuesday? That was one of our gap updates. But yeah, man. So right now, what I'm seeing is we have a clear and obvious top. And if I were to draw red for resistance, I just feel like it's easy to teach. You know where your top is, man. So you already kind of had your trade plan. I would not be buying into that. I would definitely be patient. So if we open under it, we need a breakout retest. And for me, like a 15-minute, a 30-minute is better, but sometimes that 30-minute forms and then the 30-minute ends and you're way up here. You're like, well, shit, why'd I wait so long? But, my point is not like at the open, you look at a 1-minute can, you're like, okay, broke out, retest, dive in, because you do not want to get caught in something like this. So what I do like though is, this was kind of the breakout attempt. They failed it. And now we've got these moving averages and hourly 20 underneath this. And now they're curled nice and stacked kind of nice for us. So if we kind of set, got a higher low here, a higher low here, basically a breakout retest, like you said, that's perfection. But again, don't look for 17 right away, brother. This, what would I say, Tuesday or Wednesday price action. First and foremost, that's your focus. So you get into here, you're instant green, great. You need to look left and go to, for me, when I'm trying to find some sneaky wicks, I go down to like the 5 or 15. Hang with me here, and I'm instantly looking at this price action here, man, and I'm going, okay, I got the 15.8 breakout for sure. I'm setting alert up here, man. If we push into that, like I said, I don't care if that's 100% on your contracts or 20, whatever percent that is, I am trimming there. I'm not going to see or an alert, a trade like this. If this was my alert, I'm not going to get us instant green. Know that this 16, 17 is here. Let me kill this real quick. Horrible breakout, fake out, and then a kill candle, and then get you guys back to break even. So definitely, man, if we push to that tomorrow or this week, that needs to be target one for you. No questions asked. We clear that. You make that your stop loss. So basically, quick options charting lecture for you guys. Let's just say we bought here at 100. Maxwell says, hey, I'm taking a trim here at 16.2, and when we push to 16.2, the contracts are worth $1.50. Really crappy drawing here because we got in at 1.00. We push and people go, where's my stop at? Your stop is now right here, 1.50. So we push up, you turn on a stop loss at 1.5. If we retrace, it gets tagged, you don't lose money. We push up even more, you look left, what do we have? All this stuff right in here, Maxwell, anywhere in this range, 16.6 up to 17 flat is target 2. We push up, you're like, oh, my contract's 170. We clear 170. Where's your stop? 170. We push up to 200. You don't trim. We tag it back down to 170. Boom. Can't lose money, guys. But yeah,
Okay.
nice chart, brother. But we know where we got to clear. Don't get antsy. The market's not going anywhere, man. Please wait for that to clear. You define that as your plan. Stick to it, brother. Or, if we kind of chop into here, this no man's land for me, sell under that, take your puts while you're waiting to get bullish on. That's fine, man, because when that fails, puts pay. When that fails, puts pay. Fails, puts pay. If we start going into these lower zones here, you can get a bounce into here, these moving averages. But this chart can go either way, man. I like it. I like it a lot for sure, man. Nice request.
Yeah, I'm thinking over 1630. I want to get calls.
Yep.
Just confirm.
Yep.
But
this,
yeah,
man, this 15/8's nice too, man, because when it goes, look, I mean, that one fully engulfed it right there, but you can even see the after hours where they're bouncing. So you can see, always leave on your after hours trading sessions on, guys. You can see where the activity is, because there's stuff going on here after hours that some of it we know about, some of it we don't. We don't know what's going on. So nice request though, man.
cool. Thank you, man.
Yep. Baron Jones, I think I'm saying your name correctly. You're still in here. Weeble, I think it is. And then we got ONDS, and we got NOW. Yep. LLY. Cool. All right. Baron, I think I'm saying your name correctly. Wants calls. Ooh, back to that IPO 10 zone, huh? I think, yeah, when the IPO comes out, it's like $10. I don't know why, if it always is, but a lot of times it's, or is it a SPAC, I think, is always at 10. But anyway, what I'm getting at, when it comes to that 10, I think it triggers some hard buying like every single time, because a lot of investors, that's where they got in it. I think I might be dumb. Hopefully that's not false information, but 1025 even. Yep. Don't have a lot of information back there to work with. So where are we bouncing right now though? 10.7. Kind of that top of that little consolidation cluster here. 10.7 can work. Don't love it, but it is proving that, if I can get a damn line going here. All right. Yeah, one could argue right here, right now, 10.7. We see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one kind of a fake out engulfed it, but 4 bounces there. It doesn't make sense where they kind of bounced last time. So if you guys looking at Weeble chart, 11 is our top as of now. 10.25 is our bottom. 10.7 kind of our middle range. So very, very tradable. Intraday 30-minute here. Don't believe me, 11 is our top. Damn right it is. Do not chase calls up here. Oh, we're bullish. We're going to break out. No, we're not. We're going to reject. You're going to get smoked being late. Do not watch a move up. People making money. People making money. Oh, now I want calls here. Don't do that. Breakout retest and hold. Yeah. Or breakout consolidation hold. Yeah. You got to prove a resistance level hold before we take calls and resistance. Don't be a goof doing that. And don't be a goof buying puts down here when we see these huge, like, just in general, guys, study candles. It doesn't have to be a candle pattern, but when you see a candle open here, push up to here, sell all the way down into here, but close up here. I know this is very, very compressed, but that's a long, huge wick, you guys. That says buyers are kicking in. They're kicking in hard. That's a big wick down here, you guys. That's a big wick. Pay attention to that stuff. Where's the selling pressure? Pay attention. So for me, anything on this trade, if you catch it this at the open, you kind of clear this 10.9 to 10.92, this junk right into here. Take it up to that 11.06. But if you miss that, don't chase up here. If we sell down, we're probably going to sell back into this 10.7 for me. That's a better risk reward for me. How I like to trade, well-defined stop to well-defined bottom. I know where I'm stopping out at. That 10.7 for me is money for sure. Decent setup though. If I go to the daily, I think I've seen earnings creeping up on the 20th. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, try and go as quick as I can. Get everyone one request. Frederico's gone. That probably took too long. They're gone. Probably took too long. Brian, you stuck around. Appreciate it, man. NOW had a few days of strength after earnings, then they sell off. NOW. Are you in this one, brother, or just wanting some perspective? Feel free to unmute or just pull it up, Brian.
I've been in shares now for a little while. I got in before their last earnings report, and they had a similar trend line where we traded higher after earnings, and I was in profit. And then it really started to retrace bad and fell out of support through 960 and has been trading in this, kind of really ugly 897 to 920 range for a while. And then we finally got good upward movement after this earnings, and it's just faded so fast. I'm down on my shares. I want to say my average is 968. And I'm kind of oversized for my portfolio right now. And I've been looking for an off ramp to try and kind of de-risk this position down to where I think would be appropriate. And, kind of the AI software segment. I also have a CRM position. And so I want an exit and I don't want to sell at a loss. And after this latest earnings report, I'm kind of weighing, do I just cut some, take a little bit of a 5% haircut on that equity and keep moving?
Nice explanation, man. So it sounds like you have a plan. You're just kind of looking for some confirmation. So the space of this 920, man, it's hard. It's at support and you're only at a 5% loss, but like I said, 5% can be a lot of money on a $900 stock, no doubt. So couple things I like, man. I know you're stuck in it and it's like, damn it, everyone's making money on this. Why is this not making money? That's always the worst when you got money tied up. And that's why I kind of hint to you guys that shares, like, it can be nice, but don't go heavy just because, Anth hit, his last one or the last 2 or 10. Like, we can get into the next one that he alerts and it can kind of go sideways plus or minus 10%. And you're like, shit, I got all this money tied up and I'm not making money anywhere else. And so it can be tricky. So yeah, clear as day, kind of a top range here, man. And then it's bouncing kind of this zone here. You mentioned you want to offload, but it's tricky because do we bounce this support tomorrow and we make a move and then you're back green in 3 or 4 days? Or do we tell you to hold and now you're a little more red? We come to this trend line and we're like, well, now shit, I got more money tied up red. And so this is tricky, man, because on the daily, like you said, it's just kind of curling consolidation on the zone here. It's out of support. The daily 20s underneath it, and you're sitting on top of kind of these candles that are closing here. And it's just tough to say, okay, we're at support, cut it. But it doesn't sound like you're like freaking out. It's just more frustration, which is good. So hopefully you're not in super heavy, but that's tough, man, because the daily 9 is overhead and it keeps smacking it. When we're under it, we tried to break over on Friday, failed. Daily 200. So you got 2 moving averages working against you. I don't know, man. I mean, for me, 5%, if you want to just free up some money, I mean, how long have you had these shares? I guess is a better question. I don't know if you said that. Sorry.
I want to say it's about 6 months. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, so you got money tied up for a while, man.
Yeah, and it's an oversized position for my portfolio. And
Right.
so it's one of the ones that I went into it pretty bullish on it for a long-term position, but I was also swinging the shares, which is why I kind of went in heavy thinking that it was going to pop to 1050, which it did. And then I was just an idiot and didn't get out.
Yep.
And now here we are, 6 months later. I'm sitting on 350 shares.
Right.
And so it's like it's my third largest position as far as share count, or,
Right.
nominal value in my portfolio. And I just want to move into new ideas. And, I'm tired of sitting on such a large chunk, but at the same time, it's like really difficult for me to take a loss on shares.
Yep. And is it because it's shares or because it's a lot of money?
Because it's shares.
Okay, cool. I
know.
respect the answer. This is hard, man. I'm not gonna lie, because if this was like, if you're like, hey, I'm down a decent amount and we're down under this 834, but like, yeah, you need to cut because it's a break of structure. But it's like, it's so hard to tell you when I see this daily, is this a pin it? I don't know, guys, but I'm not super smart, but good one.
And it's not 6 months. It's only been since June.
Right.
So
But like we're sitting in this, it's like, and then we tell you to sell, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, shit, dude, look at it. We're at 980. It's like, it's hard, man. But
I technically don't need to free it up. It's not like something that needs to happen this week. I can let it roll for another couple weeks. It's just a position that I've been antsy to find an exit on.
oh, it sucks, man. Yeah, because it's basically dead money. You're not really, you
Yeah.
didn't realize the loss yet, but you're also not making money. It's kind of like, money sitting in the bank during inflation. It's like, yeah, you got money in your savings, but kind of you're actually losing money now. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's hard, man. I mean, I wouldn't tell you to sell out because I want you to follow your trade plan. But if you went back and forth about freeing up money, if you need to or want to, I mean, this is the spot to do it at supports. It's very tricky to recommend that because if we sell through this, I've been looking when you're talking, it's going to be another 3 to 4% downside risk, how I see it, to see if this 9 or 892 holds. And then if we slice that, you're gonna be like, well, shit, why didn't I sell at a 4% loss? Then the mental side, I think, of okay, I've been holding forever. Is it going to come back? And I'm not saying this is you, but people get into that. They get kind of numb. They're like, wow, now it's going to come back. When they start looking at that dollar loss, like, oh shit, that's a lot of money. That's what we don't want to get into. And so I don't know, man. It's hard. This 920 is a big support, but again, you got money doing nothing. I don't know if I really answered your question over the last 5 minutes, but
I think what I take from that is just the reiteration of money doing nothing, and I could be making more than I would lose realizing that loss now. I could probably put that 100,000 to work and make it back that loss in a week.
Yep.
And so from that perspective, I think it's probably the better decision to cut some of that position size down, which is what I already know I need to do, and then just rip the Band-Aid off and keep moving.
Yep. I think you kind of answered yourself there. Because like I said, similar to not saying you're staring at a deep loss, when people cut a deep loss, like, dude, it's a relief. You can move on. The contract expired. It's gonna sting if you're just like average down 0 DTs. I know this is shares, but you kind of mentioned it. When you just cut the loss, move on, like you can do that. And when you can make some money, whatever realized loss that'd be, if you cut 50% of the position, you're like, shit, I ain't even worried about it. I'll keep 50% of the position. I'll let my trade plan, follow out when we start cracking this 960, 980. You clear this red zone. All these people are kind of short down here. They're trapped. You don't want that, or they don't want that. You would like that. So I would say just de-risk, man, free up some money and just, enjoy making some profit elsewhere. And then, like you said, you want to be staring at such a huge tie up of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Cool. Thank you for your input. I appreciate it.
Yep. All right. This person left. Cam, you're still in here. Archer, I think it is. ACHR. Man, I think I had 8 IPO on this one. November 21st, 12 calls. Good strike. Down 25%. Looking to see if I go full position. Looking over 1130. Small downside trend. Cool. Lots of indecision here. Top side, bottom side wicks here, Cam, but oh yeah, kind of pinned in this zone here. So we're under it. So we gotta make it red for now, brother. But can you take an average? If this is 1107, if they get holds over that, tricky spot, tricky. Try and be careful how I tell you this. Oh, and they have earnings. Earnings in 4 days. Because I like to be the most low risk trader, especially when I help people out. Cam, what you can do, again, this is risky because you have earnings. So if you do take an average, you cannot chase. You need to get an average here at 1107. Because if that fails, your original entry, wherever it was, and now your average, they're both red. If they bounce that, your average down is green, but your overall position obviously is still red. We bounce that, you can sneak out, hopefully break over this 1136, and probably your original trade plan is still valid. But there's risk. There's probably 3 risks. So risk number 1 is earnings this week, and piggybacking on that, if you buy in here, and you're like, okay, one case says to buy here, it could bounce or should bounce. what if we just consolidate? And now you have a full position tied up and then earnings rolls around. So that's the risk right here, man, is if you buy in here and we don't get the breakout and they just pin this here and big money is just collecting shares, waiting for that earnings report to make a move one way or the other, that's the tricky spot. For me, because earnings is this week, I would roll the half position and then just, if we consolidate here, it's decision time on Thursday. If we break out, so be it. You made money on a half position. I do that all the time on shares and stuff I alert for you guys. I say, hey, taking a partial entry on Delta Airlines, whatever it is, we make money. Well, yeah, I'm only in a half position, whatever, that's fine. That's my gut instinct is you're not down 80%, whatever, you're down 25%, very manageable. I would say hold what you got and just let it roll, because you don't want to take an average here and then we slice down, you're at a deeper loss money wise. The percent is smaller because you took an average, but money wise, you're losing, twice as much money pretty much. I don't like that. I see some bounces in here into this 11 and 10 9, but it can get tricky, brother. Tricky spot, because you can see fake outs back and forth, breakouts happening, nope, back down, breakdowns happening, nope, back inside, breakdowns happening, nope, back inside. It's just back and forth, back and forth. Tricky spot. If it wasn't earnings, I would say take an average into here and then play this as your stop and play this as your breakout to hold with confidence. But again, earnings makes it tricky. I don't love that. I don't like having you guys take plays because you guys can yeah, I didn't know I had earnings. Yep, earnings on Thursday after hours, brother. So send me a DM if you need help on that more, but tricky spot, because I don't like to see you guys work so hard Monday through Thursday and then you guys play Friday or zero TTs or earnings and you wipe out all those gains from the week. Do not like that. All right. Paul, send me a DM. I can send you a DM on some technical analysis stuff, better on charting, stuff like that. River has a really good beginner course. I've done some charting stuff. I've done some lectures on how to take a contract, how to use the options chart, how to stop out instead of just a random 10% stop out that probably tags you guys every time. Yeah, send me a DM. All right, what do we have? Let's see. JJ, how do you know if something is a break and retest or reversal? How do I have some rules? What did we play last week? Did we play Delta Airlines? I don't want to say it depends because I hate that answer, but sometimes it depends, JJ. I don't want to get too far off topic, so I know got requests in here, but obviously this is hindsight trading, but stuff like this, JJ, if I didn't alert this, but if I were to, if I were to see something like this, so we sell down, we break out, we retest it, we see wicks to the bottom, but we're reclaiming a support. So my first instinct is so here, this was resistance, we flipped it support as long as it's holding, we're retesting it, and I'm on a 15-minute chart. So we're seeing these candles a little bit indecision here, but we're reclaiming support. So that has me leaning bullish, or that price action for the day. A couple of days pass, we sell down into it. Now what do we have? We have a full candle that failed to close under it. The next candle fully bounced. So something like that. When I want to see a break and retest or a breakout retest, I want to see, at least a 15 or 30 hold, or same thing to the flip side. Breakout, retest, support, bounced it. Coming to this retracement here for puts to be bearish. We got all these 15-minute candles top side wick, top side wick, top side wick, didn't get there, top side, top side, top side. This screams short the bounce, short the top. We're not just taking puts randomly whenever, finding stuff like this, zooming to previous price action. Was support, now it's resistance. That's my bread and butter trading. Hopefully answer your question. To me, when I'm saying a break and retest for my alerts and stuff like that, I'm talking at least like a 15-minute candle hold. I want to see a breakout retest for entry. Sometimes we take our entry on the 5-minute, but it is based off a previous candle of what I'm seeing there. But I think I probably have some lectures on it, or DMs are always open, brother. If you want to go over it some more, definitely let me know. All right. Avenger, you still in here? Yep. Let's look at. I think that's Kroger, right? What do we have here? Ooh. Trend line break, ugly sell below all moving averages. Engulf that. Let's snag a line here. Where'd we bounce? Why'd we bounce? Let's see how good my charting is. We'll look left in 1 sec. Looks like a nice bag. Bag of what? Bag of losses or bag of buying the bounce? What are we doing here, fellas? Ooh, 63. Well, if you weren't short already, I don't want to be short right here. Just how I trade. Everybody trades different, but that sneaky little pocket there. Break under that. Oh yeah, selling pressure will kick in. But when I see failed close, or excuse me, failed continuation down under that, interesting. Daily, I'm on the daily. Weekly. Is there anything here from the weekly? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh baby. Intraday. You guys in this or just want perspective? This reminds me of Starbucks a little bit. Ugly chart. Oh man. We're gonna play this, guys. I like this one, guys. This one gets me a little excited.
Looking to get in 1K.
Yeah, man. Dude, if we can snag a double bottom on this, man, let people chase puts into the 63. That's, to me, that's a very well-defined risk reward for sure. Let's see, how far back do I gotta go? They sliced it. What did it look like? 1 second here. Scroll all the way back to make you guys dizzy. All right, there we go. That's what I want to see. Yeah, worst case down to 62.72. That was earnings. They grabbed that wick there, but yeah, man, going back to what was that Starbucks we're talking about? Stuff can sell. Doesn't matter how bad you want to bounce, but what I'm seeing here, guys, I bet there's some big divergence this week. If not, let's throw the RSI on. Don't tell River. No divergence yet. But I bet if we smack this and leg it down and bounce it, I bet this RSI tags this and we set a nice divergence right here. I bet that happens this week. Yeah, Avenger, everybody else seen this? Yeah, it's an ugly chart for sure, but we don't, this is one of those things where you may lose on calls, but damn, I didn't want to do that. You don't want to be taking puts down here, at least for me, how I trade. I don't want to take these puts after watching that big move. But again, look at this. Look how far extended we are. Again, it can go more, but we are so far extended from just all these moving averages. We're down. We're 6% away from the daily 9. Like, that's crazy. When we find like this, we get pretty far extended, we bounces, the bounces trend, you know, we catch up to those moving averages again. Doesn't mean we have to bounce, but this is just a red flag for me to not be shorting down here. Yeah, let's see if we can snag something on this week, man. How's liquidity on this? Have you looked yet, Avenger?
Not at liquidity, but this name was just on my watch list from Sharks Alert, and he called it out, what, with maybe a month and a half of time, so.
Let's see, November. I'm trying to see what I say. Is that 63 when I buy the bounce? So 65 calls. Not great. Where are they loading that? Big volume on a 67.5. That's really weird. A half strike has all the open interest, and so does 72.5. That's really strange. Usually the half strikes have really shitty open interest and volume. November, because that's usually like the OPEX month, is good. Weeklies, not a lot of open interest until you get to 70. So I wonder, people are loading those weekly calls last week and they got that kill count. They're probably smoked unless they sold out of those on Friday. They're holding for a big loss probably, because that's a lot of short dated open interest on those strikes. So let's see what people do Monday on this, man. See if they start rolling in some November. December 19th is probably the next big one. Yeah, 67.5. Yeah, see, 77.5. It's like $15 away, but there's some interest there. Doesn't mean it has to go, you guys, just because it's a big number. That's just where money's positioned. Doesn't mean it has to pay. Anyone's seen that. Definitely a spot to watch, though. That is worthy of an alert. We'll see what happens down there. Get 2 alerts set down here. This pays, you guys. We're gonna thank these guys in the chat. Definitely a spot to watch here, guys. Cool. Let's see what we get out of that for sure. All right. I think I can only get one more in, guys. If you guys got to head out of here. Norvy, you in here? Is he sleeping? You got 5 seconds, Norvy. LAES. So we're gonna wrap this chat. 5, 4, 3. He's drinking his Modelo. All right. All right, guys. If you guys got to jet out, you can. I'm gonna do SPY really quick, but I appreciate you guys sticking around. Shoot, we started 22 people. There's 20 people in here. Love it. You guys are putting in the work. Super good requests. I'm not just saying that. My focus, you guys, on SPY this week. We already got an alert here. I know we're not quite at 685, but any break and holds of 685. Okay, any break and holds of 685. I am, when I say short term, it just means intraday, like for day trades. So I'm bullish on the day if we can hold that, you know, whatever it is, Monday or Tuesday, whatever it is. We hold that, you know, I'm looking for a push up here to 686. Yeah, it's about a $1.20 move, but that can pay us and that can help the algos kick in for the rest of the market, the rest of stuff we're watching. So that's what I'm watching, but I'm not overly bullish. I'm not saying we're going up to all-time highs, because just last week alone, 686 is tricky. Okay. Tuesday, that morning session, failed to break over, smacked it back down. Anything over, we're trickling down a little bit. First plan of attack, partial gap fill into 683 support. This would be full gap fill down into here. We sell through that. And this is kind of what I mentioned earlier in the week or earlier in the lecture. I just want us to fill this gap, which we almost got. We got down into here. We got under 680, which is good. We'll see if we can snag a good entry. But again, if we kind of sell into this and fill this gap here, we can come down here, but risky. When I see a big bounce like this, I don't want to get caught at 681. So we need to be careful. Ideally, we kind of clear 680, even though there was this big buyback wick, but 680 to 681 is scary for me to be in puts, because if we get caught in a bounce, that shit's going to bounce hard and 0DTs are going to get smoked. Don't want that at all. Don't want that at all. So that's kind of what I'm watching here, guys. But I would love to just fill this gap this week, bounce the daily 9 moving average, bounce a big support that we know could hold and should hold, and then kind of move on from there and kind of build a bottom range here this week, and then just kind of use this as our top range. And then just, if we range trade, you guys, that's a blessing, because we know where our bottoms are, we know where our tops are. That's what we want. We don't want 50-cent ranges on SPY like we had. What was it? FOMC day was kind of boring before we had the kill candle on Thursday or whatever, but we don't want super tight ranges, you know, $1, $1.50 range. That's fine. We can work with that. But this is even better. 687 to 686. Like, we'll take that, you guys. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. Appreciate y'all sticking around. DMs are always open. Send me a chart. Say, hey, I'm watching this. I want to take entry here. Here's my stop. What do you think? And I'll help you out best I can, you guys. But you guys use this support staff, use this support members. That's what we're here for. If you guys are losing quietly all alone and no one knows it, we don't want that. We want to help you guys. That's why we're here. We're all a team, you guys. I know for the most part, 99% of us get along. There's a little bit of beef here and there, but we're all on the same team, you guys. We want to win together. If we lose together, that's fine. We're on the same team. So DMs are always open, you guys, or send something on Trade For. Say, hey, I'm looking at this. But let's have a great week, you guys. We'll see how my activity is this week. Got some stuff rolling in on some work projects, but hopefully Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, get some activity for you guys. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. Have a great night.